Most people remember Stephen Hawking only as the founder of the theory of relativity and black holes, but he's done so much more than that. Not only did he contribute a lot to the field of physics, but also warned all of humanity of what is to come. And in this video, you're gonna know more about it. Spoiler alert, it's not something good to look forward to. Well, Stephen Hawking is one of those people who stepped out of their field of research and highlighted what he thought might become challenges for humans in the coming years. He had certainly envisioned very far ahead, to a time where human beings were being threatened into extinction. According to him, it was troublesome to put all one's eggs in a single basket, Earth being that singular basket, of course. He wanted scientists and astronomers to start working on different expeditions and projects which would allow humans to inhabit other planets. Even though he tried his best to voice his opinion to a larger audience, he was largely ignored, and his claims were considered controversial. One of Hawking's predictions was that humankind was to eventually fall victim to extinctions due to more than one reason. According to him, the catastrophe was to come sooner rather than later, and the worst part about it was that nobody was prepared for it. One of the warnings he gave was the destruction of the planet due to a high-impact event. For instance, a large asteroid crashing into our planet and sending everything into ruins. If you've managed to see Don't Look Up recently, you already know how that turns out. Not something one would want to look forward to. Other threats included the invasion of our planet by artificial intelligence, and the destruction of everything living because of a nuclear war. And that is only naming a few. So yeah, none of them were very pretty sights. He feared that in the near future, the machines that humans created with their very hands would end up becoming their downfall. He agreed that to some extent they're very useful, but if we depend on them too much, we're risking our own ruin. He thought that their strength and intellect might surpass a human's, that could bring many potential threats and dangers. He mentioned how if we want to make the future a better place to live in, we should focus more on the real challenges ahead of us, such as climate change, and the risk of the world ending due to nuclear weapons and wars. A lot of people would say he was not wrong, as we hear about nuclear war threats every now and then, hoping it won't happen so soon, but nobody ever sees it coming. In 2016, he told the BBC, although the chance of a disaster to planet Earth in a given year may be quite low, it adds up over time and becomes a near certainty in the next 1,000 or 10,000 years. He also believed that by that time, humans would actually be able to spread out into the universe bit by bit, planet by planet. That is, if they were provided the chance and the opportunity. But he also added that we will not establish self-sustaining colonies in space for at least the next 100 years. So we have to be very careful in this period. Elon Musk, years later, agreed to what Hawking said and told the conference, either we spread Earth to other planets or we risk going extinct. An extinction event is inevitable and we're increasingly doing ourselves in. Stephen Hawking gave different types of warnings regarding the future of humanity, time and time again, in hopes of him being taken seriously. Although some news channels gave him the spotlight, most of them were less enthusiastic and started twisting his words, making controversial headlines. But despite it all, he was able to connect to a big chunk of the audience, and it proved that this success extends far beyond the scientific community. Not only was he a great scientist, but he had a great talent in connecting with the public, presenting new ideas. Now it's up to us, whether we choose to listen to what he had to say or ignore everything, waiting for the worst that's yet to come. Click on one of our any 4 videos on screen right now for more content.